All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. We're back. We're playing more MGS2, continuing the big boss run. I am past, like, the tanker. I'm past the tanker. Hold on, I'm plugging in my mouse. It needs a charge. There we go. We've gotten to the plant, which puts us at, like, our first, I guess, checkpoint of the run. Our first save point. It'll be interesting. I was kind of experimenting with this portion near the end of last stream, but I didn't have a whole lot of time towards the end of last stream to really dig into it. So we're kind of just going, to be honest. We're kind of just going. Has anyone played Sleeping Dogs? I did back... Is it like 20... Hello? There. 2014? It came out? I did when it came out. Never replayed it. Good one, though. I liked it. Alright, we'll see how this goes. I'm ready. 2012? Is that right? Why does it feel newer than that? Is it really 2012? Was it a 360 game? That doesn't sound right, but it might have been. I thought it was a PS4, Xbox One title. Big skip. Come on. I really should have waited until after the cutscenes and used the codec to save. I regret it, because now every reset I have to skip all that. Check out the guy on the bottom right when he first wakes up. Will the other guy not see me? I guess the right-hand guy up near the elevator. Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about, but will this guy getting up not see me from there? He should have the line of sight too, I think. Jesus. Oh, I guess... maybe not?
I'm under enemy fire. It's the enemy. I need help.
The alert didn't officially go out. I thought he was gonna be facing the wall. I shouldn't have run over there blindly. Whoops. I thought he was gonna get up and be facing the wall because of the way that he was laid down. So I didn't realize I was gonna need to punch choke him. I just went straight for the choke. Fucking ducked it. Come on.
The text.
I was explaining to my wife how my massive expenditure on the Switch 2 and games is worth it. Because it will be our son's first game console in a few years' time. You're gonna start him on the Switch 2? I guess I could see that. I think we should start him... because I'm obviously actively involved in the parenting here. We should probably start him on the PlayStation 1. My thoughts. I think that's a real good first system to start a child on. Personally, no bias. I'm not sharing my Switch 2. I'm just trying to keep civility in the home. I love how immediately he's just like, whoa, no. I had no intention of sharing the Switch 2. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Okay. Oh. I hit the punch input, it didn't come out, I swear. I promise. Shit, it's going well so far. This is going well. Lots of sources are adamant Oblivion's dropping on the 21st. Yeah, but then it's not going to drop on the 21st. And it's just going to shift to another date in like 2 weeks. Because remember when it was absolutely going to shadow drop like 2 weeks ago? Remember that? Now it's going to shadow drop like a week and a half from now. It's just going to keep shifting around. I do not believe in the Oblivion remake rumors. Purely because of how many times they've been like, yep, it's happening at this exact point, and then it doesn't happen, and they just shift it a little further. I've completely lost faith in this project. I don't believe it's real. Me out. There we go. Oh. More skip. Hold on. I seriously should have saved after like the initial setup here, because oh my god. Doing this every single time is painful. Oh my god, I flipped him.
It's the enemy. I need help.
No help. Okay. It ate my punch input again. I think there's something with like, if you try to punch right as you come to a stop, it just doesn't throw it. Fuck sake. Both more optimistic and more pessimistic. I think it'll happen, but the remake will suck. I don't think it's happening at this point. I just don't. It's so weird with like the timing, because he really does get up and immediately kick you, like once he notices you're there. But you can't punch him and like stun him until he's kind of in that state where he can notice you. So there's this very tiny window for me to punch and stun him. I'll figure it out eventually. It's just infuriating with the, 2-minute reset every time because of all the skipping. If only I had had the foresight to not do the, the prompted save and just wait and codec save myself after skipping all the dialogue at the start. You didn't get the head part from S-ranking the final pulverizer? Are you sure? Because I got, like, the max percent and everything. And we did S-rank it. Nope. What alert is that? JMH, thank you for the 5 months. I need to... You son of a bitch. Get back here. Nothing. Lightning Fox, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate it. What happened to Tom? Who? Thomas Foolery? The mod? He's been around. He's been mostly lurking recently, though.
I'm under attack. Stay alert.
This guy gets back up.
Who is that?
By the time the elevator gets there, he gets back up. Probably been in streams I hadn't watched. Maybe. He's been back on his BO6 grind as of late, because he's been doing like all the DLC weapons and stuff that got added after he finished the mastery camo. Elevator was there? Don't you get a cutscene when it arrives? Or is that just MGS1 memory bleeding in? Don't you get a cutscene when it shows up?
Isn't far removed.
It's MGS1. I swear it happens here too. It's MGS1. I can't be crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna do it without the choke. Hold on. I swear you get a cutscene when the elevator shows up. Oh, what does ambient occlusion do? It, ambient occlusion is the occlusion, or in less complicated words, the kind of fuzziness in the background of games, like things that are off in the distance that aren't in the foreground. There's a kind of fuzziness on them that almost makes it look like you're filming with a camera and they're like out of focus.
I'm under enemy fire. Secure the perimeter.
Okay, still no elevator. I had to check just to be sure. I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not crazy.
Who's there? there? It's the onion down.
No alert. Came way quicker than last time. Yeah, I think there's something with the elevator getting delayed because he spots me when getting up. I think there was something going on with that. Because they didn't go into alert, but they went into like the search mode, right? And I think that might have delayed the elevator. But I was like, I know there's a cutscene when the elevator shows up. I can't be crazy.
I'll go check the roof.
Big skip. There's so much skipping in MGS2. Holy shit, man. It's wild. I'm so happy that I have shades for the big boss run, by the way. Like, that was just a pure coincidence. But a good one. Yeah, I saw the marathon gameplay too. It looks fine. You know what it's not? Marathon. Looks nothing like Marathon. Granted, we kind of knew that that was gonna be the case. But, like, having seen it now, yeah, it looks nothing like Marathon. It's kind of wild. Okay, there we go. Like, nothing about that trailer was Marathon, really, at all. It feels like they were just pulling the name for, like, brand recognition and just doing this new game that they've wanted to do.
What about the president?
Which, again, we kind of suspected already, but now that we've seen it, we know that that's what they're doing. We've seen it with our own eyes now.
Jack?
I don't want to know what day it is tomorrow. I don't want to save. Leave me alone. I'm becoming the next big boss. Wait, they said it's also gonna have a single player game mode? Like game mode? Or like it's gonna have a proper campaign outside of the extraction shooter stuff? Or is it just gonna be like Tarkov's thing? Where you can play the extraction shooter stuff
There's no need to.
like offline, and there are some missions where it's like, go here, grab this thing, extract with it, mission complete.
I would stick my arm in it.
And where? $107? You shitting me? For Breath of the Wild? Wait, am I in the clear? I am. For now. Okay. I can actually go, like, right away.
there?
Sweet. Okay, so that room, I like pretty much as soon as I hear footsteps, it's him walking away, which is actually huge. That makes that room really quick to get in, defuse the bomb, be on my way again. Oh yeah, is that with the DLC included, DS? Like, did you buy the DLC? Damn it. I don't know why I thought he wouldn't hear me. Like, in my brain, that was why I did that. Okay, that's with the DLC. Don't use the chaffs yet. You don't get a lot, and they're better later. So I'm better off shooting the drone and the... Well, I have to use one there. Well, I don't have to. I'm going to. I'm going to use one there. I don't need to use one, but I'm going to use one for consistency's sake. I'm going to use one for the camera in the hallway because I don't have a suppressor. I don't know why I forgot to skip that. So you can run straight through that room when you're doing the last bomb. Through Strut B? Will I need to run through Strut B? Oops. Yes.
I'm under enemy fire. Secure the perimeter.
I'll have a suppressor later. Like when I go back through Strut B, I'll have a suppressor. So we'll be good then. And I'd rather not waste all the time trying to knock those two guys out just to shoot out the camera now rather than later when I can do it silently.
Who's there?
Oh, that was a little early.
Enemy sighted. Requesting backup unit.
Nah, we're good.
Colonel,
Just so you don't get caught thinking there's one. Oh, are there two?
first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'll shoot the drone. There's no one out there. I can shoot the drone. Because you said, or someone said at least, that like the destroyed drone and camera limit got removed from the Blue Point version. Or actually, I think it was from Subsistence, right? They took out the drone and camera limit, like pretty much in every version after Sons of Liberty. Whoa. I thought I was gonna be in the same place and I was reading chat. Or sorry, Substance. Fucking. Whose idea was it to name one of them Substance and one Subsistence? What fucking marketing genius was that? Kojima would be crazy. I've had a fucking like full-blown hyper fixation on this series for like a year and a half. I heard footsteps and I thought he was leaving. Fuck my ass. What was it? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've been so fixated on Metal Gear for like a year and a half. I've sunk how many hundreds of hours into the series? Genuinely, I'm in the upper... Or how do I say this? I'm definitely above like 600 hours played in the last year and a half alone of Metal Gear, just across all the games. I still can't keep Substance and Subsistence straight. I couldn't tell you which one is which. I mix them up constantly.
The hat.
I cannot keep them straight. When you've achieved this, I'm curious what percent of gamers that own this have done it. Must be 0.1. It's a little skewed for Master Collection because I know the percentage. I looked at it after stream the other day, so I actually do know the amount of people who have Big Boss. I can't see the number of people who have 100% because they didn't put in like an achievement for all achievements. So I can't tell you that, but Big Boss is the rarest achievement in this game. And at least on Steam, 1.8% of owners have done Big Boss on MGS2. But the thing with a collection like this is that most people who are buying this are going to be like pretty big Metal Gear fans, right? There are going to be less casual players buying a collection like this than hardcore players. Or I should say just less casual players than usual. Oh, 0.7% have the platinum on PS5. Okay, that's probably a fairly good metric. Because yeah, even a lot of people who did Big Boss probably haven't done everything else. Granted, I can't imagine why you would do Big Boss and not do everything else. This is the worst part. Once you've done this, everything else is fine. I saved it for last for content. Otherwise, I probably would have done this pretty early on. So that then for the rest of the run, I'm like in the home stretch, so to speak, right? Like I have the worst part of it done. But when I 100% for streams, I try to save like the biggest challenges and stuff for the very end. Build the suspense for it. But normally when I'm doing completion stuff, I'll do the hardest parts first. Like when a new COD comes out and I'm doing the camo grind, I try to do like melee weapons and launchers first for camos. Because I want to do the worst parts right away. Have them done so that I can move on to other stuff. Some people don't give a fuck about VR missions, bro. After this game, I better never play a VR mission again. Like, for the rest of my life. Did that not count as an alert? No, so starting with MGS2, when they start having, like, the radio mechanics, a guard seeing you is not an alert. They have to, like, radio in and notify the guy on the other end that you're there, and then you hear, like, the big alarm sound after that. That's the alert. So as long as you don't hear like the big bwah, 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 then I'm good. They can see me as long as I either take them out or I'm out of the area by the time the actual alert goes off. Which is not very long, but in some cases I can afford for them to see me. That room being one of them. Doesn't Revengeance have VR missions? Yeah. I'd rather not think about it, because some of the MGR ones are painful as fuck. And that's just from what I've played. I haven't even tried to 100% that game yet. Some of them are just fucking awful from what I've seen, and I've not even seen like half of them. So I'd rather not think about that.
Jack.
Oh my god. There we go. What game is next again? After 2, it's Twin Snakes. Which is basically if you're not super familiar with MGS, it's a remake of Metal Gear Solid 1 for the GameCube, where they built it in MGS2's engine and brought over like the gameplay mechanics from MGS2 and just plopped them into MGS1. It's not as good as MGS1, like as the original version, but it's fun. It has its charm to it here and there. Gameplay-wise, it has its charm to it, aside from some rooms being way easier than they should be. But even then, those rooms are fairly few and far between, in my opinion. Others will tell you otherwise, but
There's no need to think.
there are definitely some rooms where it's broken, like that initial tank room where you can just drop off the ledge because we have MGS2 mechanics now. That's broken. But there's not a whole lot of that. Like there are a few instances of that, but it's not like it's a constant negative of the game. Can't wait to see some rocket riding. Yeah, the cutscenes are wild. The redone cutscenes. They are so wacky. I have time. Hold on a second. Stupid bitch. I'm not resetting today. Not again. I was about to reset, and then my brain was like, wait a minute, I can pull this off. It's okay as a game, but it's a poor remake of MGS1. Yeah. That really is the best way to describe it, like, quickly. It's still a great, like, stealth game and video game in general, but it's a bad remake of a classic. Yeah, I'm gonna use a chaff here just to quickly and quietly get through this. I'll shoot them later when I have a suppressor. Yeah, no, sorry. Twin Snakes, we play before MGS3. It came out before MGS3. Oh yeah, and after Twin Snakes is 3. It's a very fun stretch of releases for MGS. Between like, you go from 2 to Twin Snakes to 3, it's a great stretch of games. Because doing like all spin-offs and stuff, there are some stretches of games that aren't great. Right? Like, there's gonna be doing the Acid games back to back because that's just how the release order was, right? Like, that's just how they came out. I can't do anything about it. Doing release order plus all spin-offs, that's what we gotta do. There goes the big boss run. Beaten Fortune yet? We have not gotten to Fortune yet, no. We're doing the bomb defusals. Oops. Acid is good, but 100%ing both Acid games back to back is gonna be painful. I like Acid. I don't love Acid 1 or 2, but I like them. Just 100%ing both of them, one after another, is going to be a bit of a pain. Because getting every card, we're basically going to be playing a gacha game where I guess I don't have to open my wallet at least. So it's already like 10 times as good as a gacha game. But luck-wise, we're going to be pretty much just playing a gacha game for 100%. Because if you're not familiar with Acid, I have to get one of every card in the game. And the cards are random. They come in packs. And the packs and like what they give you, it's like playing a trading card game. just what you get in any given pack that you buy, is totally random. It's like opening up like a Pokemon card pack, a Yu-Gi-Oh pack, whatever. There are just like sets of cards, and getting each of them is completely random. Who knows how many packs I'm gonna have to open up. I could get insanely lucky and get one of every card in the game, just boom, 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 and we're done. Or I could open like 500 packs and never get this one that I need. It's total random chance. So who knows how much grinding I'm gonna have to do for acid. How long to beat puts them both at 40 hours to complete everything? I don't know if I believe that. Ooh. How do I want to approach this? I haven't done this bridge on the big boss run yet. Okay, it's just waiting. Okay. I'm not joking, by the way. We did Ghost Babble already, and we played the NES version of Snake's Revenge. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking! But yeah, Ghost Babble was right before 2, release order-wise.
Freeze!
Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing.
Freeze!
He fell on his back. All right, we just gotta go. Where's the bomb? I don't remember where the bomb is in this room. Oh my god. Oh, that's right. That's right. You're dropping off the ledge. I should have just started there. Oh, I would have been seen if I did that. It worked out. Oh, there it is.
What's going on? Respond. Communications with Strut have ceased.
What should I do here?
Carry out an investigation immediately.
Do I even have time to do this?
No sign of the missing man. Nothing.
Oh, they're waking them up. Okay. I was listening and I made the face because I was like, are they not gonna wake them up? God, I hate not having a radar.
What was that? Quick! Huh?
Fuck.
I need some help here.
Okay. The mistake there was tranking the guys below quick enough to where the radio guy saw them, and then I tranked him out of panic. Mistakes were made. Where's that? Oh, there we go. Dragoon, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Not even at the hard part yet. Stealth-wise, this will probably be the worst stretch of the game.
I'm so fucking bad.
And it's gonna be a lot of trial and error, just figuring out how to approach each of the rooms, right? Yeah, this probably will be the worst stretch of the game stealth-wise, won't it? Because, like, it's just a long stretch, getting up to Fortune from this point. Yeah, of bomb disposal. This honestly will probably be one of the harder, I guess, save points to clear in the run. Just because it's long and the stealth gets pretty complex on, like, Strut's D and E especially. I'm not looking forward to those. Also, I didn't think super far ahead enough. That was a sentence of all time. I didn't think far enough ahead. Like, I should have thought further ahead. Since I saved when arriving at the plant, how does that change my save route now? Like, which save point am I changing? Or I guess, should I change? Because I saved at the start of the plant rather than at Fortune. Because saving at Fortune was fucking insanity. That's a terrible idea. For at least someone who hasn't done this like 1,000 times.
I'm under enemy fire.
Terrible
Secure the
idea.
perimeter.
I'm glad that I decided to save at the plant for the first save instead. Bomb is moving onto the box in Extreme, which means you can get to it through corners. Save at Fat Man. I'm probably going to need the Fortune save. Oh, damn it. That's not good.
Requesting backup unit.
We're good. Skip the sniper save. See, that seems more reasonable to me than skipping Fat Man. Because as bad as that is, I'm not going to fail that as many times as I'm going to fail, like, Fortune or Fat Man. Just run back and forth in the box. No, dude, you were not here for the first encounter with Fortune on Extreme. Even with the box, it's terrible if you're not, like, really experienced with it. It's so bad. Do not skip Fat Man save. Yeah, I won't skip Fortune either. I think that's also a really bad idea. I think skipping the sniper one is probably my best bet. Because Tengu I'm gonna need because I'm doing Tengu skip, right? And then after that, I'm going to want the save before the raise because I don't want to do Tengu skip again. I don't want to have to do it every time I reset there for the Ray fight. Sniper probably is the best place to skip. Or was Vamp one of them? Wait a minute. Was Vamp one of my save points? If you skip the sniper save, you gotta redo the Vamp fight. That's fine. That's fine.
What about
Lamest MGS boss so far? I've played all the games already for the review series last year. If we're going off of just like the 100%,
Jack,
I don't know. It's probably something from like
Jack,
Snake's Revenge. Oh. Yeah, it's probably one of the MSX game ones where it's, if I had to just think of any off the dome for like lamest boss fight, it's probably something like Like the guy in Snake's Revenge who betrays you on the train, and he just throws down claymores that blow up at you from across the room. That's pretty lame. That fight's not great. You can skip Vamp easily with the cheese if you're confident in it. I'm very confident in the Vamp cheese. How much of a run-up is there to Vamp? I'm trying to think. From the hair... Oh, that's a bit of a run-up.
There's no need to...
The guy who threw grenades in Metal Gear 2. Yeah, he could be one. Like the guy above the elevator, right? Is that the one that we're both thinking of here? The one who like shimmies across the top of the elevator? That one's kind of lame. The Running Man from Metal Gear 2 could also be a contender. Sorry, Kojima. Stuff like that, I guess, would be like some of the lamest ones. Maybe the tank from Metal Gear 1, if we're being honest. I don't know. Maybe I should... I do have to do the Vamp fight every time if I skip the sniper. I don't know. I'm not gonna have to decide on that for a bit still. It's gonna be one of those. I'm gonna skip either Vamp or the sniper save for sure. You know the Vamp cheese? Yeah, it's true. That's the thing. Is like in both ways, how confident am I with the Vamp cheese, right? Like, do I want to have to retry the whole... I'll probably skip Vamp, to be honest. I think that is the one I want to skip. I think I do want to skip that one. Just thinking about it right now. Probably. Yeah, skip Vamp. Because I might fail it like once or twice from just messing up the cheese. But I'm not gonna mess it up that many times. And I'd rather not redo Vamp every time I fail the sniper segment. So I think I skip Vamp. Because Vamp is probably going to be the easiest, like, boss encounter out of the entire run. Including the sniper segment. I think that's where my chances of failure are at their lowest. Is kind of how I'm breaking it down right now.
There's somebody there.
It's not going to be perfect either way. But he's the boss that I'm going to die to the least, or fail the least in the entire run, for sure. Also, yeah, World at War grenade spam on Veteran. Classic. I really want to do the COD campaigns for stream. Just for the hell of it. I own every single Call of Duty game. Once again, I'm a bit of an unironic COD bro. I can't help myself. Courtesy of having grown up on the Xbox, or I guess like in the Xbox 360, Xbox Live era with COD. I have like a lifelong attachment to it just from that. I kind of want to do that because I say it all the time. There are some COD campaigns that, like, if you've never played through the COD campaigns and you just kind of think of COD as like the multiplayer / BR game that we all like shit on it for being, right? You wouldn't know that there are some genuinely really good Call of Duty campaigns. You played the OG multiple times. I love the original, actually. It's one of the better campaigns in the series, to be honest. So is COD 2. I think I even need to choke him. I probably don't. If I'm just quick. COD 2 is up there. COD 3 can kiss my ass. That's not a good campaign. I don't like COD 3's campaign. I love Treyarch's COD games, but man, that was not a good first game for them to make. That was a rough start to their Call of Duty career. It's also the only Call of Duty game, mainline at least, to never get a PC release. It's only on Xbox 360 and PS3. It never got a PC release. Only one that never got put to the PC. Which is hilarious because the original Call of Duty was a PC exclusive. It only released on PC. Until years later, they ported it to, I think, Xbox 360 as part of like a classics lineup. But originally, COD 1 was only on PC. The franchise started as a PC exclusive franchise. And then like 3 years later, they made one where they just didn't do a PC release for some reason. Oh, my trank gun. I immediately was like gonna go and try to go through the room. How could I forget? Didn't know COD 1 was PC exclusive. It was. The more you know.
Who's there?
How do I want to approach this? I just don't want him to see the guys that I'm knocking out. So I'm gonna play this very patiently.
Be careful, he's still in this area.
Shit. God damn it. Okay, I should be a little more patient with it.
There's somebody there.
Did I just get caught? Shit.
There's somebody there.
No. No, caution does not count as an alert. It has to be an alert.
There's somebody there.
Oh. That was lucky. I eventually was like, fuck it, I just gotta go. And it somehow worked out. What do I want to do here? I didn't grab the fucking SOCOM suppressor. There. Hold on. Thank you, False. Shouldn't there be one more? I guess not. All right, this room. This one's gonna be bad.
Jack.
Not now, Rose. Shit.
Who is that?
No way.
What's going on? Be careful. He's still in this area.
Camera. There's a camera. I need the SOCOM suppressor. I do. Laser eyes? That's crazy. That was some insane vision. They have binoculars? That guy fucking didn't. He wasn't looking through binoculars, was he? Didn't look like he was looking through binoculars. I think it's just their vision range on extreme, because it is longer. I just didn't think it was that long. They use binoculars in that direction, but that guy never went, hmm? He didn't have his binoculars up. He just fucking sniped me from across the room. One guy did go, but it was the other guy that I didn't trank. The one of the four in the room that I didn't. That was the guy that went, He had his binoculars in his hand even when I saw him there. When I was running through and decided not to trank him. Use binoculars indoors? Of course they do. The only guard who wore his glasses to work. That room is a shit show.
Right.
But once I figure out strut D and E,
I'm under enemy fire.
then we're
Secure the
pretty
perimeter.
good for this whole stretch of game. Once I get the final bomb, then we're good to go. I guess there's also gonna have to be one drone left alive outside at least, so that I can shoot out the cameras with the suppressed SOCOM, but I need to remember the suppressor. That's also important.
Who's there? Who's that?
Enemy sight.
I've seen guides saying to save in front of strut F instead of fortune. I can kind of see that. I don't think I'll need it, because then once I get all of them,
First.
yeah, you have to go back to strut C to get the other bomb detector, and then go get the big one, right? Unless I'm missing a step in there, which I might be, to be honest, because the bomb defusal portion of the game was always the one where I forgot about one step while we were doing dog tags, and I would forget a different thing every time. So I feel like I'm probably forgetting something right now, because you get all of the bombs in all of the struts, and then you go back to where Stillman was, and you get the new detector. And I feel like there's something else before you go get the time bomb, right? At least I think.
Right.
If I were to start up a new big boss run, I feel like at this point I probably could do all of Tanker and then save like before strut F for my first save point. But first time, I was not at the point where I could do that previously. There. I feel like I'm watching Sisyphus push a boulder up a hill. It feels like that. Not gonna lie, it does feel like you're just slowly pushing up the boulder and then it rolls back down a little bit.
What about
And then you keep pushing it and you get a little further and then it rolls back down. It feels like I'm Sisyphus. God damn it.
Jack?
Didn't they make like a rage game based on Sisyphus, by the way, speaking of? Where it's literally that. Pushing the boulder up, but then if you slip even a little bit, it like rolls all the way back down to the start. They did. It was like, I swear I saw like a new rage game going around a bit ago that was Sisyphus. Which is a hilarious concept for a rage game. I mean, it's perfect. Like, it's literally, it's just right there in the story, right?
I know.
Good God. It would be great if you could just disable the codecs. It would be nice. It would be very nice, wouldn't it? Well, I wasted a shot. You don't get many SOCOM shots early on. It should be fine. I know now that I can literally just run straight through this room. I don't even need to knock the guards out. If I'm quick, it's like the guards and cameras aren't even there.
My finger in your teeth.
How much was Chulwig? I don't remember with the new system, but it's on the spreadsheet. What's left for MGS2? Just this big boss run and then we're done. This is the last thing. False makes me laugh. What an interesting human. Me too. Yeah, once you've practiced the early half of bomb defusal, like I haven't practiced the latter half. I'm sure it's a lot of the same. But once you've got this early half down, it really isn't even like any effort to do it. I feel like that's kind of been the whole big boss run so far. It's like, okay, this guard, let me, you know, fail on him a couple times, figure out how it works, and then I will never get seen by him again. Like once I've got it figured out, it's figured out. Feels like doing this is more trial and error than anything. It's sometimes surreal to think how close we are to MGS Delta. It's coming out 2024, you guys. Don't worry, it's almost here, 2024. It's happening. Don't worry about it. It's coming. 2024, everyone. trust. It's happening. Konami said so. 2024, boys. See you around, John Fuzz. Have a good rest of your day. This one was literally just patience. You're gonna stream a non 100% playthrough when it drops like you did AC6? Probably. I think what I want to do for Delta's release is I want to... So I've thought about this because Delta is going to be the first game in a franchise that I've done a review series for that's going to have a new release, like after the fact. So it's going to be my first time for like one of these series that I've really dug deep into, covering a new release right when it comes out. And I doubt that Konami's going to give me a review copy. I haven't like reached out or anything. I probably should. But I'm just going to assume that I'm not getting one and like plan around the assumption that I'm not getting one. Right? I think that's the best way to do it. And what I wanted to do for the video, just in general, was I wanted to record a playthrough with like the new visual style, third-person camera, all the enhancements and everything, and then record another playthrough that has like the classic color filter enabled and is using the classic camera angles, like the fixed camera angles. So part of me is like, I could just record the classic playthrough on stream and then off stream, just as fast as I can do it, basically get through the like new, I guess, in quotes, enhanced playthrough. But then I don't know. I think that's... Okay, so I should trank them up top. The first playthrough on stream would be tight. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that. At least, like, I could, but then the video is not going to get done as quick as I need it to. Like, by the time that I start stream on Delta's release date, assuming it's a midnight release, I'm going to assume it is. It might not be. A lot of companies do, like, midday releases and stuff. But if we assume it's a midnight release, I'm probably going to be, like, a good 5 hours into the game by the time that stream comes around. So, it'll be pretty fresh, but I'm also going to be a pretty solid way into the game by the time I stream that day. It's midnight? Okay, yeah. So I'll probably be pretty deep in the game by the time I stream that day. Just because for review stuff, at least for a game that's like about that length, I need to record through it in like 2 days to maintain a good schedule. Some games I just like a schedule like that is entirely out of the question. Looking at you, Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear Survive, Yakuza 5. Looking at you bitches. Some games are just way too big for that, and it's entirely out of the question. But if it's like a normal 10-ish hour game like that, like MGS3 I would say is like 13 hours on a first playthrough, if I remember right. Then, yeah, I need to get through it in like 2 days. Like a PS2 version of Formula Front. I do want to order the PS2 version of Formula Front, but it's JP only. And it's really not that different other than the tag team mode. Which sounds like a great addition, but that's really all that's different with PS2 Formula Front. And I think it has like some additional arena matches and stuff, but it's pretty much the same thing. Doesn't Metal Gear Survive take like 350 hours to complete? With like achievements and everything? It damn well might. Oh. But my review playthrough of Survive, I think, was like 20 hours, give or take. I can talk about Yakuza 5 now. Not like fully, but I can talk about the fact that that's what I've been up to for the last, you know, month of my fucking life. Jesus Christ. Like, I know that game has a reputation for being the longest Yakuza game still to this day, but holy shit. That game is big. Like, huge. Fucking gargantuan. Like, legitimately, for Metal Gear fans, it's like MGS5 length. It's about that long. Can we get some thoughts? The video's on Monday. Patrons and members have it. Contributors have it already. It's up for them. But holy fuck, it took me more than 60 hours just to play the game. Just to get through the game on a first-time playthrough, it took me more than 60 hours to get through Yakuza 5. Which sounds insane, and you're like, oh my god, why would you do all that side content? That's so excessive. The thing is, the main story content alone in Yakuza 5 is a little over 40 hours worth of main story content. So like, a solid like 20 hours of my playthrough was side content, but that's because there are so many sub-stories. There are more than 30 unique mini-games that I had to go and check out one by one. There are 5 open world maps in that game. Entire open world maps. There are 5 of them. If you're not familiar with Yakuza 5, this is what I've been up to for the last fucking month.
Jack.
It is crazy. It's so big. I'm really looking forward to 100%ing it just because of the scale and everything. But that game is insane. Just, holy fuck. I think the video did take me 4 weeks. I don't know for sure if it was 3 or 4. I've kind of lost track in the haze of it. But I think it took me 4 weeks. They get bigger? They don't. They don't get bigger. Yakuza 5 is still, by far, the largest Yakuza game. Infinite Wealth is the second largest, but Yakuza 5 still has it beat by like nearly 50 hours of content for 100% stuff. Yakuza 5 is still the biggest to this day.
There's no need.
I thought Infinite Wealth is the second biggest. But 5 still clears Infinite Wealth by a good margin, which is crazy. Takes a dip with 6 and Kiwami 2. Yeah, I was looking at like just completion times and everything for all the games after playing Yakuza 5, because I was like, holy shit, is this going to be a regular thing for the rest of this series? And it's not. It will never be that big again, which is a relief. Just production-wise and everything. Like, the biggest game is done with this one. But holy shit. Some of them are really short, like coming down the pipe. Especially compared to 5, but just in general. Some of them are way shorter than I would think. Like 6 is apparently pretty short. I know Gaiden is really short. I'm trying to think. Apparently Pirate Yakuza is pretty short from what I was seeing about that, but granted, that's still very new. So that info might be a little less reliable, but Infinite Wealth is, or sorry, not Infinite Wealth, whoa. Pirate Yakuza seems to be one of the shorter ones. Trying to remember. I think Ishin is fairly substantial. Ishin's the next one I have to do. Ah, shit.
There's somebody there.
No. Okay. It's supposed to be a shorter experience. That's nice. I like a shorter experience. As long as they're still, like, fairly substantial, I won't mind. Pirate Yakuza seems great. And the fact that I think it said it was like a 30 to 40 hour 100%. So the fact that the pirate game is about the same length as like Yakuza 1, because that's the same that estimates for that game put it at. I think that's a great length for like a little pirate game spin-off, right? That sounds great. The 30 to 40 hour 100% with the pirate stuff. Sounds great. Especially compared to Yakuza 5's estimated like 170 hour 100%. Sounds great to me. I look forward to 100%ing Yakuza 5 purely just because it is so gargantuan that I feel like it's going to be one of those games that streaming through that 100% is going to be like an experience. Because there are two types of really long completions, right? I have two great ones that I've done on the channel in mind to compare them. There are two types of long 100% in games. There's the MGS2 style, where the game itself isn't that big, but there are just so many like little challenges and tasks packed within the game that you have to replay the game over and over and over and over and over to do all of it. And that's not the kind of 100% that I prefer by any means. I'm not as big on that. The Resident Evil games have also been like that so far. And then there's like the Red Dead 2 style. That's a game I 100%ed on stream. That was like an experience where it's like 150 hours to get through everything. But every single day that I get onto stream and we start chipping away at stuff, I'm doing something different, like something completely different every single time. And that's like what Yakuza 5 is going to be more like. Just because of how much variety is in there, it's insane. It's insane. You never finished your Red Dead 1? No, people weren't fucking with it. So I dropped it just for the channel's sake. For algorithm's sake. So where does Ninebreaker fit? Ninebreaker, it's in the category that I don't like to talk about. It's in the category I don't like to talk about.
Who's there?
So I don't want to trank the guys below until he comes back up. And then I want to go defuse the bomb and run out. Defuse the bomb. And grab the suppressor? Question mark? But even with Yakuza 2 coming up, since I'm nearly done with 100%ing Yakuza 1, the variety of the Yakuza 100% streams is going to go up a lot. Just because of the changes to the 100% process made in Yakuza 2. That they then carry forward, I think, for like the rest of the series. Oh shit.
There's somebody there.
I've kind of messed this up too. Then you'll give up on getting all weapons and gear in 5? No. Are they gonna investigate that? It's not great. I miss being in the batting cage dungeon for stream after stream. Good times. Yeah, Yakuza 2 and onwards is where that series really starts to open up for 100% experiences. Because it's gonna be less of like, you know, today am I doing sub-stories or main story, and that's really about it for Yakuza 1, with a couple exceptions. And it's gonna be a lot more of that like wacky, you know, today I have to go play pachinko, today I have to go to the batting cages, today I have to go to the arcade, play like the UFO catcher for an hour. It's gonna be a lot more of that like wacky, varied stuff. And I feel like those make for way more fun completion journeys. When you're changing up what you're doing like day to day, or I guess like if you're not streaming, just like every few hours that you're playing the game, what you're doing changes. That's so much more interesting in my opinion. Wait, you can climb the boxes from the other side? I knew that. Of course I knew that. Oh, hold on. Whoops. Nah, there's no way that I'll give up on all equipment in 5. Because even if it gets bad, A, have you seen the shit that I do on this channel? Jesus Christ. And B, more MGS5 means I get to keep putting off the survive 100% longer. So. Yep. I don't think I'm gonna give up on it. It keeps me away from survive 100%, which survive, said it in the review, not the worst game I've ever played, not even close, to be honest. I've played way worse than Metal Gear Survive. But it's definitely a game that like,
I got the biggest wang in the West.
once you've played like 10 hours of Survive, yeah, you're kind of done at that point. Like you just, okay, no, you're right. He did whip out the binoculars. This is not good. Do you have to do survive? It's not Kojima. We've done Ghost Babel and Snake's Revenge already. Will you do the super bosses that exist? Yeah. Who here, raise your hand. And I swear, I will protect you from the larger Metal Gear community, okay? I won't let them hurt you. Raise your hand. Who here owns Metal Gear Survive on Steam? Who owns the PC version of Metal Gear Survive? Show of hands. Anyone? Anyone in chat own this? Okay, Wake does. Don't worry, I won't let the Metal Gear Reddit hurt you. This is a safe space. Son of a bitch. How do I approach this room? I was young and foolish. It goes on sale for pretty cheap. When I bought it for the series, it was on sale and it wasn't a bad price. Survive is genuinely fun for a little bit. It just gets old really fast. Like if you actually sit down to play it and you're just like, okay, let me see just how I feel about this. At least in my experience, it was like, this is fine. I had fun with it for a bit. It just got boring once I was like a few hours into it. It loses its appeal pretty early, but it's not terrible. It's like a 6 out of 10 kind of game. I think that's about what I gave it. It's like, yeah, it's not bad. It just gets boring pretty quick. That's really the biggest issue with Survive, is that it just gets old really fast. Like really fast. Unfortunately. The vibes are the best part. The vibes, unironically, are really good in Survive. You're not wrong. Just like the atmosphere of the game and everything. Oh, okay, there we go. Son of a bitch. Where the fuck is the bomb? Yep, totally normal. It's true that the vibes are good because it's the Phantom Pain with a Silent Hill filter on it. Also, the monster designs are really good in Survive. Genuinely. Also, maybe partially due to some Silent Hill DNA. But it's true. The monster designs in Survive are pretty great. Which I feel like no one ever talks about. Except for the Lord of Dust, the big weird dust dinosaur. That one is a bit odd.
There's somebody there.
But other than that, like, all the monster designs are really good in that game. Some of them are really good and they never get used too. Like they have the weird little spider things. Like the crystal spiders. And those look sweet. And they show up like twice in the whole game. At least like the single player campaign. I can't speak to multiplayer and all that, obviously. Literally couldn't find a single game of multiplayer while I was playing it. Just no one on PC playing that game. Everyone in the comments, not everyone, but a good few people in the comments were saying that there is like a solid community for the Steam version, but they're in like a Discord server and they basically like set up like dates and times where they all hop on to populate the game again for like brief little periods. The reason I asked about people owning it on Steam is because it's probably going to be one of those things when I get to it where we have to approach it like we do with the Ace Combat games, doing the multiplayer portions of those 100%, where like there's no one playing the game naturally So we basically just have to be like, all right, boys, it's time to hop on Ace Combat multiplayer. Who's on? And for a very brief time, we populate the game's servers. It works. Thankfully, we've got a solid enough community built up where we can do that. Where like a lot of these old games with dead multiplayers, we can actually get on and complete the multiplayer portions, like achievements, whatever. Good luck finding someone without Discord. Yeah, for Peace Walker. I could see that. Peace Walker is probably going to be a...
Who's that? Enemy sighted. Requesting backup unit.
Son of a bitch. I don't have a radar. Fuck me sideways, dude. 34 people on Survive right now? That's like nearly 3 times as many people as were on it at any point while I was recording it. Still missing all of the online achievements because of that. Bro, with the pace that we're going, solid chance that Master Collection Volume 2 is out by then. This is something that I've wondered more recently, right? Hold on. Hear me out, chat. Hear me out. Listen. Listen. Okay? I've been thinking about this lately, just in my own time. I don't think I've talked about this on stream yet. Master Collection Volume 2. They've said that, like, or at least the last public word on it was, like, we don't know exactly what games are going to make up Volume 2. But, like, as a community, right? We all know that they're going to need to have 2 games. And those are MGS4 and Peace Walker. Other things, maybe, maybe not. That's up for discussion. The 2 that will be there, almost 100% certainty, are 4 and Peace Walker, right? What do you think they're gonna do for the network side of Peace Walker? Because, like, Metal Gear Online for MGS3, they just didn't include in the collection, right? So I'm assuming Metal Gear Online 2 for MGS4 will be the same thing. But for Peace Walker, it's not like a little multiplayer side mode. The multiplayer is like deeply ingrained into the core game. It needs to be there. So I wonder how they're going to approach implementing the network stuff for Master Collection Volume 2. And then that even kind of changes things. It's like, maybe it will have Metal Gear Online 1 and 2 since they have to set up servers for Peace Walker. Maybe they'll just use that server space that they're already reserving for more stuff. Maybe it'll just be Peace Walker. Who knows? But I started thinking about this the other night, and I was genuinely like, huh. I don't know how this never crossed my mind before when talking about Volume 2, but, like, the multiplayer needs to be in Peace Walker. There are certain things that you can only achieve, like you can only get your hands on by playing multiplayer, by playing with other people. There are items that can only be used with multiple players. Yeah, okay. As soon as I missed the cartwheel, I knew it was over. Fuck's sake. God damn it. So Peace Walker, like, unless they just remove a shit ton of content from the game, it's gonna have to have networking. Your review made people try it. What, Survive? I think my Metal Gear Survive video, is that the fastest, or sorry, I read the word fastest in chat. Is that the most viewed video on my channel now? It was on track to be like a while ago, but I never went back. It is the most viewed. Oh wow, by a good bit. Yeah, that is my most viewed now. For a long time, my MGS1 video was my most viewed video. But yeah, no, my Survive video is my most viewed now.
Snake, do you remember the sinking of that tanker?
Most recent comment on it. I opened like the little analytics for it on my phone, and it shows you like the 3 most recent comments on the video. The most recent comment I got on the Survive video is just, why do you talk like that? I love being a person on the internet. Why do you talk like that? Is that the version you'll 100%? If it's out by then yeah. If not, I have the PS3 version. I bought it for the collab project with Zanyverse. I bought the PS3 collection. I could see them removing a ton of content. Yeah, I could too, to be honest. Because that's been a thing with Metal Gear too, is a lot of subsequent re-releases remove little things, right? But with Peace Walker, I feel like those removals would hurt more than anything that we've seen before, right? Like the Blue Point remasters removed stuff like, you know, the skateboarding minigame is not here for MGS2. Or Ape Escape from MGS3. I think Ape Escape got removed in Subsistence, or was that the Blue Point collection? I don't remember. Is Master Collection 2 coming out before Delta? No, after. We still have no release window even for Volume 2. Delta will come out probably a long time before Master Collection Volume 2. Okay, Ape Escape did get cut only from Blue Point remasters. Obviously coming back in Delta now, which is great. But even that, like before then, just re-releases of Metal Gear had to cut stuff, like the Nightmare minigame. Oh my god, I did it again. Fuck me. Oh shit. I was like, he called later this time. How did I miss that twice in a row? No, sorry, what was I saying?
First.
Oh yeah, the Nightmare minigame got axed from any release of 3 that's not Snake Eater. It's only in Snake Eater. In your MGS3 playthrough? No, I didn't. Is Ape Escape stuff in Snake Eater? I thought it was a Subsistence thing. Oh wait, what am I? First I thought that Subsistence might have cut it, and now I think it's a Subsistence thing. I don't know what the fuck the Ape Escape stuff is. Okay, Subsistence had more missions for Snake versus Monkey. That might be where I thought there was something different with Subsistence. I had this vague thought of it being different between Snake Eater and Subsistence. That's probably it. But no, I didn't encounter any of it. Is Ape Escape going to be in all versions of Delta? That's a Sony IP. As far as we know currently, they haven't specified that it's only on one platform. If it is only going to be on PlayStation, then there's been no word on that. But considering how little Sony has done with Ape Escape in recent years, I doubt that they're getting hung up on the Ape Escape minigame being part of Delta on PC or anything like that. Wait, what? Xbox is getting Snake versus Bomberman. What? Okay, hold on. What's the Steam version then? Have they specified that, or is it only Xbox that's not getting Ape Escape? Because that would be kind of funny. It was at the end of the Xbox trailer. Steam shows Monkey. Okay, so it's only Xbox that's not getting the Ape Escape one. Snake versus Gaben. Okay, so Steam is getting Snake versus Monkey still. God damn it. Sorry, Xbox players. Snake versus Bomberman might not be bad, though. That might be kind of cool on its own way. Or in its own way. Wording. even though it's not Snake versus Monkey, I could see that being a cool crossover just in its own right.
There's somebody enemy side requesting.
Snake versus Chol, if only. I've been trying to get them to, you know, pick me up for some guard voices. They haven't reached out. They haven't reached out. I've made my case for, you know, I do some great Metal Gear guard noises when I'm just doing jokes about the sounds and stuff that they make. I've clearly proven that I'm capable. Konami has never reached out, despite, you know, I've left the door open for them numerous times.
I'll go check the roof. I'll leave the first.
But I've never been contacted. I do the guard noises during sex. Me too. Oh! Now let me kill it. Old Bomberman games are actually pretty great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the Bomberman crossover can be cool. God forbid I ever start a dedicated Metal Gear channel on the side that I build up for like an extra revenue stream. Depends how long this fixation hangs around. God forbid I do, and I need to buy like a Series X and the Xbox version of Delta just to have Snake versus Bomberman.
Jack.
Foreshadowing? No. It depends how long the fixation hangs around. Depends if I have the time for it. Because, like, I don't know. I talk about it fairly indirectly a lot of the time. And I kind of take the piss. And I don't plan on stopping that. But, like, just to have it out there, at least somewhat in a clear manner. This is not the only YouTube channel that I own and run. This is just my personal channel. This was my first YouTube channel. I still just use it as like my personal, but this is not my only YouTube channel that I run. So probably not foreshadowing because
There's no need.
you know, scheduling and all that, but it could potentially happen someday. Raven's Nest? What's that? Never heard of it. Never heard of that one. What is that? Oh. I'd subscribe to that. What, Raven's Nest or an ASMR channel where I show my feet? I need a clarification now. Just because of the messages that came through right before it. But no, one of my other channels, I've mentioned this before on stream. It took, I shit you not, like 2 weeks of opening this channel from scratch, uploading its first videos. It took 2 weeks for me to get a comment on that channel saying, wait a minute, that's Chol's voice. I was just running this channel on the side without ever mentioning it here or like on any of my socials or anything. Took 2 fucking weeks for someone to recognize my voice. My face has never appeared on the channel. Just, it took no time at all for my cover to get blown on the other channel. I thought I would be able to just secretly build up this other YouTube channel quietly for longer. But like immediately. someone found it. It was like, hey, wait a minute, I've heard this guy before.
Colex rimming.
No, I don't. Fuck. This bitch making her allegations against me. No, I don't. I do not. Nothing against anyone who does. And to be fair, I've never tried it, but I don't think I would like it. Personally. It's not something I'm interested in trying at this point in my life. False would never lie. She absolutely would. Don't listen to her. Besides this in the VOD channel,
The texture.
it's out there. It's some people have put it together. Some people have run into it and found it. And I'm not ready to own it yet. Like I said, I'm cheeky about it sometimes. But not yet. There are people who know. Including that fucking guy who blew my cover instantly. Son of a bitch. I love that I'm just mad at this random guy who clearly enjoys my channel, who watches my stuff regularly enough to immediately be like, hey, I know that voice. Who also is just interested in what my other channel is doing and found it early on by chance. I love that I'm like pissed at this guy. I'm like, that son of a bitch blew my cover immediately.
I'm under enemy fire. Secure the perimeter.
It was hilarious though, cause False knew about the other channel like right away. I was telling her about it before I even uploaded on it for the first time, so she knew about it. Although she might have gone and snooped on it, but I specifically told her, do not go and subscribe to this channel, because I don't want any like unnatural growth on. I just want this to be a little side project that's entirely its own thing.
Enemy sight. Requesting backup.
And she knew, and then when I got that comment, I sent her the screenshot and I was like, this motherfucker already found me. How did you meet False? I want to know where you found this strange human. False and I met because she showed up in my like Twitter, you know, people you should follow thing randomly. And at that time I was looking to like network with people. Not a lot, because I keep my my network pretty small, like as small as possible. I don't have that much time to like have my, I guess, my hand in too many bowls, so to speak. Especially now that I've got more than one channel that I'm managing. But I found her through Twitter, like at random. I followed her just to like keep an eye on her, was the thought. I was like, I'm just gonna follow her and see what pops up, sort of thing. And then she, like within like 2 hours, followed me back. And when I saw that notification, I clicked on her profile. And like right after following me back, she tweeted like, I need more non-VTuber like mutuals in the space.
I was part of.
So we just started messaging immediately, because I was like, oh, yeah, that's a pretty open invitation. I was like, that's about as direct as you could be without just straight up messaging me first. And then we just started doing extreme stuff together, like right after that.
Jack.
Not like right after, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, if I remember right. You are aware she's a strange human, though. A little bit, yeah. A bit strange. Anime woman on the internet. She was bound to be. Right? Let's not mince words here. Because, like, as strange as I am, I'm just a man on the internet. I'm not an anime man on the internet yet.
Glad
For the record, I do not plan to be. My face is so much cheaper to use than a VTuber model. Not even, like, to use, but, like, you know how much those things cost? Like, holy shit. Because, I mean, sure, it's nice to not have to be on camera every day, in one sense, but at the same time, have you seen how much those things cost? Holy fuck. I'll stick to my face. I can be on camera every day for that much money. I can absolutely be on camera every day.
right.
A lot of money, like a surprising amount of money. It's not that surprising when you learn why they're so expensive. False explained it to me, because when she first told me how expensive it was, I was like, what? Because if you don't know, thousands of dollars to get like a good VTuber model. Like literal thousands of dollars for that model. Because the model itself, if you pay like a good artist, A, you're paying for someone who is a skilled artist, but B, the whole thing with like VTubing is that every little piece of it needs to be split up into individual layers for the rigging process, for the animation process. So it's not only like good artwork, but it's good artwork that's very technical and time consuming. So the model alone, just the artwork for it, will be a couple $1,000s if you get like a really good artist. And then you have to pay someone else who's going to be skilled and proficient in animating those models to go through and rig everything and animate it. And that's another couple $1,000s if you get someone who's good at it. So they're crazy expensive. Yeah, there was a point where I was like, man, I'm not even like that much of an anime guy. Like, I like Dragon Ball. I fuck with Dragon Ball a lot. I thought Chainsaw Man was pretty good. But I'm not like that big of an anime guy. But the appeal of having like an on-screen representation of me, like a character, and not needing to actually be on camera every day, pretty appealing thought. But then I found out how much it cost, and I said, nah, fuck that, I'll stick to my face. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Oh. I got this. Big bossing it up. But no, in terms of the like extra YouTube channel thing, it's very appealing to think about in terms of just more revenue streams and all that, more income. But if I were to do more channels than what I'm currently doing, I would need to start hiring employees. I'm just like, I'm legitimately at that point where I've like maxed out my available time in life. If I want to start adding more stuff, I need to hire employees either to do the new stuff or to take over the existing stuff. I've fully maxed out. I don't have more time to give. Clear your mind with this. Hold on. Let me get into Strut F at least. There we go. Oh. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna crack my window. Oh shit. It's hot in here, and I'm wearing a hoodie. I don't know how warm or not warm it is outside, though. Hold on. Oh, it's like 50 degrees. Yeah, okay, I'm good. I can leave that open for the whole rest of the stream. Ooh. The air is nice and fresh, too. That's crisp. Good crisp, fresh air.
Nothing here.
Manage the VOD page and whatnot. Honestly, if I were... The VOD page is easy to manage, just time consuming, so it's kind of fallen to the wayside temporarily. If I was gonna hire someone for that, it would probably be my girlfriend. She'd have more than like the skill set for it with what she does. And it's not intense work at all. The work is basically done for you the way that I'm managing it. I'd probably hire her for it, if anyone. Whole girlfriend mentioned. I slipped it one time, and now it comes up more often now because it's just like, yeah, I've already said it. There's no point in like not bringing it up now. It's already out there.
There's somebody. Be careful. He's still in this area. Understood. Reinforcements on the way to Strut F. Intensify the level of security.
God damn it. Man, the air is crazy. Crazy nice today. Oh yeah, the air quality was really high today. But I had to look. I'm like, is it just me? It's not just me. The air quality is actually just really high today here. Spoke the quiet part out loud. Now you must suffer the consequences. I mean, it's not like I'm actively hiding anything. It's more just I hadn't brought it up. Sorry. Chatbot thing caught my eye.
What was that just now?
That was nothing.
Nothing here.
Does she ever call you and ask you what day it is tomorrow? No. Thank God she doesn't. She ever played any of the games in your review series? Yes. She's played Resident Evil, not all of them, but she's played a few of them. She hasn't even played like half of the series, but she's played some Resident Evil. That's actually that's the only one. It's the only review series that she's played any of the games is Resi. I had no idea he was there. I just about shit myself. That was so terrifyingly close. I almost like brushed up against him and I had no idea he was there. I've never been spotted by a drone on any of these runs. What the fuck? Does she allow you to simp over Snake and Raiden? She probably would. I don't. But she probably would. I think the hottest Metal Gear character is Venom. If I had to, well, Eva, then Venom. Then Venom. He's second. Yeah, this is on extreme. We're doing the big boss run. But no, she's played the original Resi trilogy, like the PS1 trilogy she's played. And she's played RE5 and 6 outside of that. But she's never played any of the remakes. She's never played 4, 7, or Village. Never Armored Core, never Ace Combat, never Metal Gear, never Yakuza. Skipping 4 is a red flag. When she was growing up, she didn't have many systems. She basically had like her consoles from when she was really little until she got a PS3 for herself. And then what's it? Just never went back after the fact to play 4 or any of them after 6. Understandably. She actually likes 6. I say that like jokingly, but she actually she is probably one of the biggest RE6 defenders I've ever met in my life. And now half my chat is no longer going to like my girlfriend. They've never met her. They've only heard a few things about her, but now they all hate her. Don't dump. I'm sure she's a nice lady. She is a nice lady. Has a bit of a weird track record with games at times, in terms of just what she has and hasn't played. What a nice lady.
I got so excited I shot a load, my bad.
Jesus, false. How the two of you can be together. She never completed Armored Core Another Age. Look, I've tried to get her on Armored Core 6 Seamless Co-op. I've tried to sell her on that one. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm not backing off of that one. she has a PC that's capable of running Armored Core 6, so I'm not backing off of that. Eventually. It's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm under enemy fire. Secure the perimeter.
And also, I've told her to play RE4, for the record. With all the RE4 comments, I should circle back. I have told her a lot to play RE4, because she really likes RE5, too. She's a really big RE5 enjoyer as well. And I'm like, dude, if you... Yes, I call her dude. If you like RE5, you would really like RE4. I have told her to play 4 plenty, don't worry. Well, that kind of fucked things up. Oh my god, he waited so long to call. I got lucky. I got really lucky.
First.
Come on. Let's get her going. I should at least be able to get to Fortune today. There's no way. I've been at this section for 2 hours, and like, I get it's a long section with a lot of places where things can go wrong, but like, I should be able to reach Fortune. Makes it better. To clarify, I call her dude because that's just the way I talk. It's just from the environment I grew up in, like, I cannot speak without occasionally calling anyone that I'm speaking to, it doesn't matter who you are, dude or bro. I grew up an unironic dude bro, hence the term. So I genuinely cannot speak to anyone without occasionally slipping one of the two, if not both. There he goes. Spent an entire day on Vulcan Raven. This can't be worse than that Vulcan Raven situation I was in. It's true.
What a...
If you weren't here for the MGS1 Big Boss, that situation was that by the time I had gotten to Raven, I had already used my ration for the run, because you only get 1 ration use in the entire run on MGS1 Big Boss. I had already used it. I was down to the point where I was 1-shot from anything. Like, it didn't matter what hit me. From that point on, for the entire rest of the run, I was just 1-shot to any damage. And I had 1 Claymore. And that was it. So basically, my time fighting Vulcan Raven during that run was just, it was like a slaughterhouse. Not weighed in my favor. Just, I had to do the whole Vulcan Raven fight with like 1 Claymore being like the only easy damage I could get on him, is why I emphasize that. Everything else had to be either Nikita or Stinger.
There's no need to...
And just, if I took any bit of damage from him, it was instant reset. So it was a fucking shit show. Lance, thank you for the sub, though. Appreciate it. Hardest boss out of the run. Rex, with that kind of health, was so much easier. Like, Rex, while being 1-shot, was way easier. The liquid fist fight was so much easier. The car chase was so much easier. Vulcan Raven was the problem while being 1-shot.
Right.
Just the worst. Because also, when you're doing Big Boss, no radar, right? So I can't even, like, track him through walls. It was just terrible. It was so bad. Oh yeah, you're right, and I didn't even have the stinger because of the... I did the speedrun skip to skip the hind fight. So I actually didn't have my stinger. It was just Nikita. Thank you for the correction. It was even worse than that. Oops. Oh. I'm gonna fuck you. We got this. Come on. I gotta get to fortune today. I have to. I have to. I've still got plenty of time to do it. I'm kind of shocked. I thought I would have it by now. Which, to be fair, I've gotten pretty close. Just, I thought I would have been there by now. Farthest I've gotten is the DF connecting bridge, which is really not far off from fortune at that point. And even then, I made such a dumb mistake there, and Strut D is gonna be a shit show. The biggest issue right now is that my Strut F is still a little inconsistent. I can't find like a perfectly consistent approach for Strut F. Honestly, this time I'm thinking of just not tranking the guards downstairs until I'm like on my way back out after grabbing the suppressor. Oops, that's not what I'm looking for. How many big boss attempts are we on? With just resets for alerts? I have no idea. They've been tracking deaths, but deaths only happen in boss fights. So I have no idea how many resets I've done total. We're getting places though. It's a memorization and trial and error game more than anything. And unfortunately for all of us, I'm overwhelmingly patient. Yeah, at least 20. This is where things start to get a little bit slippery for me. Strut F is where I'm still experimenting a bit at this point. Strut E, honestly, is such a shit show.
Nothing here.
Might want to be a little more over. Yeah, like that. There he is.
There's somebody there.
Nope. I don't think you'll do Portable Ops Plus. It's just multiplayer. Probably could. We can do multiplayer on PPSSPP. We can make it work. We actually just completed Ace Combat X, including like multiplayer and all that. So it's very possible. That's also a PSP game, point being. And that's actually a PSP game.
It's the underdog. I need that.
The one upstairs saw me. Fuck. That's a PSP game that never had PSN play. It only was ad hoc multiplayer. But because of the emulator and a little magic with VPNs and all that, you can do it. You can do ad hoc connection on PPSSPP. Just once you know how to do it, you can do it. It's a little finicky, but once you've got it set up, like, it's good to go and it just works from that point on. The setup is a little finicky. There's like a little troubleshooting that typically has to happen for like each individual person setting up. There's normally some variable that doesn't work exactly how it's supposed to, but once it's set up and you figure out what's wrong, it works perfectly from that point on. I say it all the time, but like, emulation is truly the greatest thing for games preservation that we have. Hands down, nothing comes close. Even games that had multiplayer modes that were only ever system link or ad hoc, you can preserve those multiplayer modes and play them online. It's incredible. Nintendo dispatching lawyers as we speak. Nintendo can kiss my ass. I use Dolphin and I'm proud of it. Project 64, love them. I still have Yuzu on my PC. I've used Yuzu like once ever, but I have it on my PC. Actually, no, I've used it twice. I've used it twice. I used it once for Breath of the Wild. I dumped my Breath of the Wild to it and upscaled it and all that. Made it run at 60. It was beautiful. It was great. And I did the same thing for Metroid Prime Remastered. I dumped that and played it at 4K. That was great. That was awesome, actually. It was pretty sweet.
Who's there? Who's there? There's some enemy side requesting.
I didn't know until the other day, though, that I'm like one of the lucky few who actually can dump Switch games because I have a Gen 1 Switch. Apparently, if you bought one after like they made their first revisions to it, they patched out like the back-end stuff that allowed people to dump games from the Switch to PC. I'm sure you can still do it with later Switch hardware. I'm sure there's a way, but it's apparently at least very hard. Because I feel like there's no way they completely made it impossible to dump. Unless they pulled like some black magic. I just, that would be really difficult for them to do. They might have done it, but that would be really hard. Hacking the newer Switch requires soldering a chip into the motherboard. Oof. That is brutal. I mean, it's possible. The Gen 1 Switch is so easy to dump from, though. If you just have a tool for it, you can plug it in, dump. It works. That's how I've done it. But yeah, that sounds brutal, actually. I don't think I would do that. Well, I would if I had to, I guess. Or I would just start ordering the cartridges instead of purchasing digitally so that I could dump. I would start buying physical. I'll probably actually want to do that with Switch 2, now that I think about it. I should stick to physical only if they've made it so that you can't dump anymore. Oh, but so many of the Switch 2 games aren't actually going to be on the physical cartridge. The sons of bitches. If it requires me getting a modded Switch 2. Yeah, that's, as soon as I said it, physical is only codes now, for the most part, with Switch 2. The games aren't actually going to be on the cart. Fuck, man.
Kid.
If I have to get a modded Switch 2, I'll do it.
Glad
Because God knows, the Switch 2 games, they're going to run great for like a year. Like, the launch lineup is going to run well, and it's going to quickly not go that way anymore. So, fuck me. Somehow
That's why I stick my
Cyberpunk...
finger in there. It's flat.
Cyberpunk is going to be fully on the cartridge? That cannot be right.
right.
Is to replace the boxes that came with paper and a download code. Cyberpunk will be on a 64 gig cart. That's an 85 gig game. That's a lot of compression. Oops. That's a lot of compression. In theory, it's meant to replace that. I thought it was just for games that couldn't fit onto a cartridge. That was my assumption with it. Low-res textures? Yeah, that's a ton of compression. But I had figured it was for, you know, not being able to fit them on the cartridge. But if they can fit up to 64 gigs, that doesn't sound right. Because there's no way that some of those games that are confirmed to be on the download carts are more than 64 gigs. That seems crazy. And Cyberpunk looks terrible on a PS4. That's the thing. It has to be so compressed. Huh. Have we seen Cyberpunk running on the Switch 2 yet? Have we seen footage of it? Cyberpunk on PS5 is 90. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is there a lore reason why Nintendo consoles are behind everyone else? It's really just that they focus more on software than hardware. But it's probably also very convenient, along with that emphasis, that they can, because they have this like precedent built up over the years, they can put out cheaper hardware. I thought he was already in front of me. That's such a dumb mistake. They can put out cheaper hardware and people will buy it without issue because they've kind of conditioned the hardcore fans for that. And then obviously casual gamers don't give a shit anyway. GameCube was as good as any. The GameCube was crazy. It was so strong. The reason, well, aside from the deal, a big part of the reason that Capcom took the Nintendo GameCube deal back in the day for like Resi and stuff, for a lot of their properties, but for Resi in particular, was because the GameCube was so powerful. Sorry, my brain right now. It's part of the reason why if you've played the PS2 version of Resident Evil 4, it's a pretty significantly downgraded version from the GameCube release. The GameCube was very powerful for when it came out. Really, Nintendo started being behind with the Wii, and they never have changed course since then. The Wii was the first time that Nintendo put out something that, like, at the time of its release was behind. And they really haven't changed anything in that sense since. More powerful than OG Xbox? I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm almost certain on that.
Secure the perimeter.
Wii U was kind of appropriate. Yeah, Wii U was behind, but not like as significantly behind as the Wii or the Switch, for sure. Or the Switch 2. It was on a similar level as the Xbox. Okay.
Who's there?
Even then, I feel like it had to be a little stronger. Purely because, like, I think of the games that were really pushing it. Oh, fuck. Switch 2 is really a Switch Pro? Absolutely. Like, I will not bend on that either. It really is a Switch Pro. There's been a ton of copium from, like, the hardcore Nintendo guys on it. It does not feel like an entirely new system. It feels like a Switch with a new button. That also is behind a subscription paywall, by the way. And some more powerful hardware, and that's it. Oh, and I guess it has the mouse thing where you can, like, for the two games that are probably ever going to make use of it, you can put the Joy-Con, like, split half down on the table and use it like a mouse. Mario Party's gonna make use of that. Like, 2 more games ever will probably use that. But it is there, to be fair to them. Apparently they're very, very prone to stick drift too. We don't know that yet. It's speculation on the stick drift, but pretty sensible speculation, to be fair. But just for the sake of fairness, we don't know that. No one has, like, gotten the hardware on hand and started testing for stick drift yet. But no meaningful updates have been made to the sticks from the Switch 1. So the sensible assumption is that it's going to be about as bad. Performance wise, I think it's a bigger leap than most console generations. It's really not that big of a leap. Performance wise. It definitely will be for Nintendo's first party stuff, but that's always the case. In terms of third party, fucking Doom Eternal could run on the Switch 1, because a lot of people right now to talk about hardware, they're like, oh, Cyberpunk can run on the Switch 2. That's a crazy leap, because, you know, the Switch 1 is on like a 2012 chipset. Sorry, 2014. I always say 2012. I don't know why. I exaggerate it every time. It's on a 2014 chipset. But third-party developers who are putting in that much effort to compress the games down and make them run well had already done that on Switch 1. Like, fucking Doom Eternal runs well on Switch 1. It's really not that big of a leap, aside from Nintendo's first-party stuff. But where you're gonna really see the performance come into play at all is gonna be third-party more than anything. Because Nintendo's games are never pushing the hardware that hard, with the exception of, like, Tears of the Kingdom. And Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom especially.
First,
Yeah, it's confirmed that they're not Hal Effect. So that's where we're assuming the stick drift is going to be about the same. Also, I haven't even ranted about this. I kind of just said it in passing. I feel like I need to actually rip into them for this, at least somewhat on stream. The C button. They added a whole button to the controller that, as far as they've spoken about, the only uses for this button are entirely tied to the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. They have a literal paywalled button on the controller where, like, the only case that you have any use for that button is if you have the online subscription. Otherwise, it's literally just there and doing nothing. Again, as far as what they've said, but as I said the other day, given just how bad I feel like the Switch 2 presentation was, I have very little reason to give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt right now. What? Has outright refused saying what happens if you press the C button offline. Yeah, and that's the thing, where, like, I don't have reason
what about the
to give them much benefit of the doubt, if any, because everything about that presentation was brutal. And even if it was just like, oh, it's a bad system or whatever, that would be fine. I don't think it's a bad system. I think it's a very overpriced system. I think it's a very over-marketed system. Like, I think they're really playing up the improvements over the Switch 1. I don't think they're going to be as significant as what we're hearing right now. And I really, really dislike that they were doing things like intentionally not mentioning the pricing of things during the presentation, and then quietly releasing details about the pricing in interviews with certain outlets after the presentation, like days after. Sometimes the day of, sometimes articles that only came out like 2 days after. I really, really dislike that more than maybe anything else about the presentation. That's shady as fuck. I don't like that at all. Ooh. At least the PS5 Pro, they fucking owned that god-awful price tag, right? At least they went up on stage, made a whole video presentation, and they fucking owned their $700+ console. If I can say nothing else about them compared to this Switch 2 presentation, I can give them that. Nintendo outright sidestepped talking about the pricing in their presentation, which is so fucked. Oh yeah, and they also owned the additional pricing for the console stand and everything like that. At least they fucking owned it in the presentation, right? If nothing else. I can't say that about the Switch 2. Oh. Yeah, everything being $10 more if you buy physical, including the code-only cartridges, is insanity to me. That's fucking wild shit. Even if you're buying a cartridge that doesn't even have the game on it and it's literally just a physical DRM key, it costs $10 extra. There was so much bad about that presentation. There were so many negatives in that presentation that it's wild. The tech demo game, like the kind of Astro's Playroom kind of tech demo to show off the console and everything, that game costs $60. It doesn't come with the system. I can't remember what outlet got that detail and confirmed it, but it apparently, that tech demo game apparently costs $60 on its own. It's $10? Are you sure? Because as far as what I've seen confirmed, I've been seeing 60. Where the fuck did you hear that? An outlet that spoke with them about it. That in their interview, they asked about that. I'm sure. I've been seeing the 60 tag everywhere. Like everywhere. It was in a Luke Stevens video. He covered it. That's where I saw it first. What was in the Luke Stevens video. Speaking of people who have not been charitable to the Switch 2, Luke Stevens has been brutal. Like, so much worse than me. And I haven't been very charitable myself. Can we all talk about how Nintendo is asking you to pay for them to advertise their system to you? It's crazy, right? Like, it is genuinely crazy, right? Even if it is $10, $10 isn't much, but they're asking you to give them $10 to give you, like, the, here's our console's basically, like, enhanced features advertisement. Because that's really what it is. It's an interactive advertisement for all the features. And they're charging you for that. And yeah, that's without even getting into Astro's Playroom was like actually a game, albeit a short game, but like it was a game.
Nothing here.
I would stick my arm in it.
I would not stick my arm in the Nintendo Switch 2. I will eventually have to pick it up for like Prime 4 and stuff. Granted, I don't have to for Prime 4, but if I'm gonna play Prime 4 when it comes out, I don't want to play the Switch 1 version while knowing that I could be playing the better Switch 2 version. But I'm certainly not... I can maybe recover this. I cannot. I got perfectly blocked. 120 FPS. I'm not playing it in performance mode. I'll play it in 60. If the quality mode holds at 60, I'm not playing it at 120. That's a big if though. Granted, Prime Remastered on Switch 1 did lock at 60 on the Switch 1. So I don't have many doubts. But Nintendo's first party stuff, when they talk about frame rates, a lot of the time, it's slightly exaggerated.
The texture is
So I don't. Tears of the Kingdom was locked at 30 FPS. Keep in mind. We heard the word locked. They confirmed that pre-release. So It's Nintendo's own fault for not saying anything. Absolutely. Like with pricing stuff, right? Like us not knowing the pricing and some potential misinfo going out about like this game costs $60, right? It's shitty that misinfo is happening, but that's only more reason that Nintendo should have just given us the pricing and owned it. If they obviously know that their pricing is terrible. They wouldn't have kept it intentionally out of the presentation had they thought the pricing was good. They would have just owned it if they thought it was something that gamers would be positive on or accepting on. It would have been in the presentation. But even then, like the fact that they haven't, it's just led to a lot of crazy shit.
I'm under enemy fire. Secure the perimeter.
Switch 2 edition content actually being on the carts. Fucking Switch 2 edition. Still pissed at that. That's a trend, to be fair to Nintendo, that Microsoft and Sony started, and I thought it was bullshit then. But the paid upgrade for a game that just runs on both systems, and even if you buy the Switch 1 version, like digitally, you're going to have to pay the additional to upgrade it to the Switch 2 version to play it on your newer system with the benefits. It's not a trend that Nintendo started, but it's a dog shit trend that none of them should be doing. It's fucking horse shit. It's a Switch 1 game with a Switch 2 upgrade? Yeah. Like, that's where I think Prime 4 is probably safe when it comes to the frame rate stuff. But even then, I have very little reason to trust Nintendo when talking about frame rates. So, even though I think that's the safest bet Nintendo has had frame rate-wise in a really long time, I'm still gonna hold out and just wait before, like, talking about it as if it will absolutely hold at 60 in 4K. I'm just gonna wait because I have no reason to take Nintendo at their word on frame rates outside of like maybe Smash Ultimate. Other than that, I genuinely have like no reason to. Kenzord, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Because yeah, like Tears of the Kingdom, they said was locked at 30, but I think when you average out the playtime, because a lot of Tears of the Kingdom does play at 30, but the game also constantly dips in a lot of different scenarios down to 20, and the game also doesn't have like a truly variable frame rate. It varies at 3 different locked frame settings where it drops in multiples of 10. So like if you've never seen a performance breakdown of Tears of the Kingdom, sorry, I read the word in as I was talking. The way that the game handles frame dips is that instead of just dipping to whatever it is and having like a jittery frame rate, what it does is it's like, oh, we're dipping below 30. Okay, then we're gonna lock it at 20 until we can hit 30 again.
right.
And that's the way the game behaves on the back end, and it's super bizarre. It dips in multiples of 10.
I'm under enemy fire.
It's really weird, but that's what they did. So like Tears of the Kingdom dips to 20 FPS a lot. If you played the game, you know. Like even in docked mode, I played the entire thing docked, and I was constantly seeing 20 FPS playing that game. So that's where I'm like, when you have a game that averages at like 24, 25 FPS over a play session, and they're advertising it as locked at 30, I don't trust Nintendo when they say that their games are locked at X, Y, or Z. Because I know what that can mean for Nintendo. it absolutely can mean that this is what you'll get like half of the time, but it's not exactly locked in at that frame rate.
The big first, get to a node.
I don't know why this isn't. Oh, my on-screen chat is broken. That's why. It rarely hits 30. Yeah. Hold on. I have to reset my chat too, along with the run. Oh, here. Let me. Before I open up my bot, turn that off. You don't get to see the code. Hold on. Gotta fix my chat. Someone type something for me. I think we're good. Don't play the MGS2 theme. They're copyright trolls everywhere. They're everywhere. Okay, yeah, we're back. Okay. Link's Awakening was unforgivable. Juddering between 60 and 28? What the fuck?
This is. The texture isn't.
Did you see the Ubisoft lawsuit thing where they said people don't have unfettered access to the games they buy? I did see that. Yes. It just Ubi being Ubi. What's new?
Nanomachine, son.
What was I about to say? I was rambling about Switch something or other. I don't know, I lost it. TLDR, I don't like the Switch 2 after that presentation. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm probably gonna buy it. I won't be pre-ordering it, that's for damn sure. I'll basically be buying it once I feel like I need it. Or if I can get it at a cheaper price, I'll probably scoop it up at a cheaper price just to take advantage of the opportunity. But I do not think that console justifies its price. Gonna consider it in a year or so. Yeah, once stuff is out that like I do want to play, then yes, I'll jump on it, but no. Just not. I am not exactly thrilled on the idea of paying $450 in 2025 for a console that roughly matches the specs of the PS4 is what everyone keeps throwing around, right? So let's assume that is the actual rough performance of the console. That system is 12 years old, and I paid $500 for that 12 years ago. So even the console price itself, in my opinion, is outrageous. Because if that metric that keeps getting thrown around is true, and it's about PS4 performance, then yeah, I'm paying almost the same price today that I paid for my PS4 12 years ago. That's fucking crazy to me. $50 cheaper, but then that doesn't come with any games. If I want to buy a Switch 2 and have it come with a single game, guess what? It is $500. My PS4, when I bought it 12 years ago, came with a game for $500 and 2 controllers. It's a terrible price. I'm gonna buy those damn games and probably love them so much that the outrageous prices probably seem reasonable. I'm gonna buy them and I'm gonna like them, and the whole time I'm gonna be like, I can't believe I spent $500 on this shit. It's like less than 50 bucks more than the Steam Deck and better performance than it. I don't own a Steam Deck because I've never once thought that the Steam Deck was worth it. Personally, I've never been sold on the Steam Deck. With ray tracing and DLSS support. Even then, what was the PS4 Pro 2018? That was $500 7 years ago.
Enemy fire. Secure the perimeter.
Well, it didn't have ray tracing or DLSS, but I avoid DLSS when possible because it makes your games look weird and smeary and gross. The quality setting is okay on DLSS, but anything below the quality setting makes your games look kind of shit. Having Steam is a ridiculous advantage. That is actually very valid. Because I was just looking at hardware, personally, but it should also be brought up that their standard pricing is going for
Requesting
like $80 for a game, at least so far. And
First,
yeah. Steam sales. DLSS is definitely a selling point. I personally don't think that when we're talking hardware, upscalers should really be brought into the discussion much. Because they can boost your performance, but it's artificial performance. Yeah, fake resolutions don't do it for me. Agreed. DLSS will get you a big performance boost, but it's not... It doesn't look right. Granted, I'm speaking from someone who built a juicer PC. For work. It's a work PC. I wrote it off on my taxes. It's a necessity for me, for what I do. But I wouldn't have built a PC this expensive had I just been using it for recreational gaming. Come on, you guys can't see his gun, but I can. Has been the difference between playable and unplayable on my aging 2060. For sure. For a 2060, it'll 100% be that.
what about the
And that's only... Doesn't the 20 series only support DLSS 1.0? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does. I had to like work backwards in my head. I'm like, okay.
Jack,
I had to go back one gen at a time. But yeah. Is it DLSS? No, it was DLSS 1, wasn't it? I can't be right. Because DLSS... Oh... I should know this. I had a 10 series build up until just recently. But yeah, I'm on a 4080 currently. And I run at great performance still on new releases without any DLSS. But again, I wouldn't have a 4080 were it not for I needed a juicer PC for work. I wouldn't have juiced out that hard had it not been for work and been a tax write-off and et cetera, et cetera. But thankfully, I can avoid using DLSS because I do not like the way it looks. Yeah, the Digital Foundry comparisons, I'm waiting on that. Because as much as I love Digital Foundry, those comparisons are speculative. Because they obviously, they don't have a Switch 2 yet. Unless I missed something and they just got one. But the last thing I watched where they were comparing stuff to the Switch 2, it was just speculation based on what we had seen and heard. And it's fairly solid speculation, but like, I want to see it. Yeah, they're going off of the YouTube videos, exactly. I'm more waiting for DF to actually have a Switch 2, because Digital Foundry does an amazing job, always. I'm really waiting for that. Oh my god, frame gen. As someone who's messed around with frame gen, that's even worse than the DLSS stuff. And like TAA and all that. I wouldn't. It feels so bad. Like, just to actually play, it feels like shit. It's not, frame gen doesn't look like shit, it feels like shit. It doesn't look great either, but the issue is more that it makes your games feel bad. It makes your games feel laggy. They're displaying a nice frame rate, but you're not feeling that frame rate because it can't spoof the inputs. At least not yet. And yeah, the new frame gen is legit like 3 fake frames for every 1 real frame. And it makes this really weird disconnect. It's one of those things where, like, if you've messed around with it, you know what I'm talking about. It feels gross. On controller, it's fine. On controller, if you're wireless, you probably won't feel a difference. But if you're, I always wire my controller because of like input issues on PC, on Bluetooth. So it's probably about the same on wired without the delay and everything. Thankfully, I really think Nvidia is going to scale back on upscaling stuff after this gen, after the 50 series, because the 50 series has kind of blown up in their face pretty spectacularly. I hope that's the case at least. If not, I might be side-eyeing AMD in the future. Even for the juicer work PC. Because I need the actual performance for like video editing, rendering, etc. The upscaling does nothing for me because it's not a PC that's built with gaming as the #1 priority. So I need whatever actually has more performance. Like legit performance, no upscaling. Which right now is still the 40 series. It's still the best performance on the market with the release of the 50. So I've stuck with it. To a 9800 XT. 9800 XT is great. It's really, really good. 9070. See, I don't even know my AMD that well. But yes, that is a great card. It's a really great card. But again, just for specifically what I do, like for me, because it's a tax write-off, how much it costs is only like a short-term issue. And even then, it's like long-term, it's more than worth it. I slipped off the wall. I'm so pissed. I'm actually so upset that I slipped off that wall. It is actually 4 p.m. anyway, so it works, but I'm still so pissed. Just MGS2 moment where my stick was a little off, so I slipped off the wall and ran instead, and I ran straight into that dude. Fuck. It is that time. Running a 4090. Yeah, 4090 at this moment still has the strongest performance on the market. 4080, I think, is number 3 right now. So like it hasn't been enough. Like I'm not gonna sell my 4080 and buy a 90 just for a little more performance. But definitely once there's a next gen card lineup that outscales it, I'll probably be there. AMD is looking better than Nvidia. I've said it a million times, but for price to performance ratio, that's where you want to go AMD. Like if you're worried about how much am I spending relative to how much am I getting back, AMD is the move. If you're in my kind of position where literally all you need is just having the strongest performance, regardless of price, Nvidia is still where it's at. For now. If they continue with the upscaling bullshit, they might lose that position. They very well might lose that position. Anyway, it is about that time. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a like, a sub, follow, whatever. Come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing a whole bunch of other stuff like Ace Combat, Resident Evil, Yakuza, all sorts of good shit. Come back for any of it. Also, if you enjoyed, I actually accidentally lumped like into it already. Leave a like on the YouTube side. Algorithm. If you're looking for links to anything outside of YouTube or Twitch to engage with the community, check out links in the description below on YouTube or on Twitch. They're on the channel page, chat commands, whatever. Things like Twitter, Discord server. If you're looking for them, you'll find them. Other than that, though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you always back here next time. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream, and goodbye.